Hello, my lovely audience. So, holy crap, did I hate doing this again, because I freaking already did it, just my freaking phone was like, no, you didn't record it, so yeah, alright. Anyways, what I'm talking about is this is the second take. I did the first take last night because, holy crap, was it long, but also because I really hate that I had to redo it. It didn't record or anything. Like, after I hit record, it didn't record, so I'm, like, a little pissed off about that. So, we're gonna do this again, straight from the top. Alright. So, if you don't know, about the game called Thief, I suggest you play it, because it's a great game. But what Deku's going to have, he's going to have a quirk. And this is going to be a transformation quirk that I'm going to say that no one really notices, and I'm going to say in this world, quirks are like everything. You're quirkless, you're going to be homeless. So, that kind of rhymed there. You're quirkless, you're going to be homeless? Huh. So yeah, Deku, he's going to be... Yeah, I'm in the bathroom now, so... Just throw that away. There we go. Have to spat some gum. Anyways... Let's get to business, shall we? So, let's get to the fact that Deku, his quirk, is going to be like One For All, just not. Like, One For All enhances the physical body and all that. Deku's quirk enhances his concentration. And his concentration it's just enhancing his mind, really. So, what it enhances is it's enhancing everything from his, he can feel stuff to all kinds of stuff. Like, how do I put it? Like, if Deku focuses enough, like concentrates on his hearing or whatever, he can hear someone breathing and know exactly where they are. That's how powerful it is. So, yeah, it's really amazing. I'm going to say that no one notices this for a year, because I'm going to say that it doesn't really show, you know? Nothing really happens, it's just like a whole self kind of quirk. Plus, I don't think anyone would believe him. So, Deku is thrown into an orphanage by Inko. And then Deku escapes because he finds out he has a quirk and all that. And he, what does he do? Well, I think what any kid would do. He becomes a thief. And he goes down a dark path. He goes down the path of a kind of like villain. He actually becomes, like, when he hits, like from 6 to 15, he's pretty much just straight up a villain. And, yeah, Deku is going to be having the villain name King of Thieves. Now, I'm going to say that he has a bow, like the compound bow that you have in Thief. And, Deku, he's used his quirk to, like, escape so many, like, heroes and robs from so many people. And the reason why they call him the King of Thieves is because he is so good at stealing things, you never notice it's gone. Like, he's too good at this. It's terrifying how good he is. And I'm going to say that Deku, he lives in the sewers. But his gear pretty much looks like this. It's pretty pretty bad looking gear and all that, but it works. He's able to get past alarms, stuff like that. All kinds of stuff. He can get past by anything. And with a bow, he was able to learn through, like, his first started with a slingshot, then he worked his way up to a bow. And he made, like, a compound bow, because he found out it was the easiest one he could use. Plus, it doesn't really acquire a lot of muscle. So, Deku, I would say he's, like, really good at parkour, and acrobatics and stuff like that to like climb around. And yeah, he's just really good at stuff. And stealing and pickblocking. He's master at pickblocking. Even with his quirk that enhances the ability where he can feel like certain like locks and all that. And yeah. Like Deku, if he uses his quirk too much, Deku, he will get a headache. That's the only bad thing I find about it. He gets a headache after using his quirk. And I'm going to say that Deku, he's not much of a loner. He just stays alone because there's so many people out for him. Like, I would say that, like, hero-wise, everybody has tried to catch him. Endeavor, All Might, everyone's failed because they can never catch him. Besides, Deku does not kill. He's the one and only villain that's never killed anyone, but has injured people. He's the only one that's never killed. And that's like kind of a big deal because all he does is steal. And they kind of like know his MMO and his whole profile for what he does. And I would say the most insane thing is that Deku, he's pulled off stuff that makes you think that he's got some kind of like shadow quirk or some kind of like vanishing quirk. When it's all that he's focusing. It's all that. So, what are we going to give Deku? Well, let's see. I'm going to give him certain arrows. I'm going to give him a rope arrow, a broadhead arrow, like 5 of them, because he doesn't really use them. He only uses them in case of like an emergency where he actually has to like injure someone. And he's mostly just a burglar. But when he's escaping, he kind of uses the broadhead arrow to like hit a guy in the foot and it would just go through the concrete. Or floor or whatever. So that way they would be like stuck in place. And Deku would also have like a water arrow to like maybe slip people up or use it against people that have electrical quirks and stuff like that, or electrical systems to short them out. And I would say like fire arrows to like kind of like to kind of like create a distraction or something, or create a fire that's like enough for him to escape out of. But he's never killed anyone. They've always been in like buildings that he can get away from. And I would say like a lot of people would get out of a building that they're fighting a very big villain that's like Deku. I would say Deku, he's like one of the hardest villains to catch. And I'm going to say that Deku makes his appearance not in the UA exam, but in the USJ. When he joins up with the League of Villains, because he wanted to like go to the UA, but he can't now because he's a villain. And because he's like kind of got a lot of money, but he also gives a lot of his money to the poor, middle class, and not to the rich, because he steals from the rich. And I'm going to say that Deku, he's like one of the most dangerous people there, besides like some of the villains. Like, he goes to the USJ because of the fact that he's able to like sneak by, and well, you could probably get past the defenses easily. So the whole entire thing is going to be that Deku, he's the one that causes the whole security problem. And, yeah, Deku's like, he's the sneaky guy that got past everything. I would also say that, yeah, he got past everyone. So he got there before the USJ attack even happened or anything, like first thing in the like morning at night. And Deku, he's pro, so he got into the security system and bypassed it easily, and quickly when they got there, the whole entire thing blacked out, all lines and all ways of connecting were pretty much cut off. Even though I would say the doors are shut off, because that's kind of like what Deku did. He had the doors completely shut. Because I'm going to say it's like a type of way of keeping everyone in there. So yeah, Deku, he didn't really come there to kill All Might. He was kind of there to just, like, make more of a name for himself, but not to kill All Might. He never kills. He doesn't like the idea of killing. Deku still is a good guy. Like, he just doesn't kill. And he's kind of, like, in the middle of villain and hero. No one can decide. So, it's kind of hard to explain, like, cops, they love them because they're working a hard job, and they sometimes get some money, not as bribery, but like as compensation for hard works earned. And that money will be like from selling the items that he steals. And I would say that not only does Deku get like this extraordinarily large amount of money, but he also gets like a lot of privileges, I would say. And when I mean privileges, I mean like lower class, like the poor, kind of help him out, like intel wise. Like, yeah, they're assisting a villain, but I don't think they really think of it that way. I think it is like they think of it as like, oh hey, he's just doing a job so he can get more money to those people in need. No one really sees Deku as a villain. So yeah, that's kind of like how the poor see Deku. Middle class, now they don't mind him because, yeah, there's a lot of poor people that were on the streets but no longer anymore. So it makes their life a whole lot easier, and it makes everybody's whole life a whole lot easier. So I'm gonna say that Deku, when he goes to the USJ, he has no plans of killing anyone. And when he found out there was kids there, he didn't think that kids would be there. Like, they said, oh, there's gonna be like some they were gonna go fight All Might. That's all he knew. Like, there was no idea that there was gonna be kids. He thought this backup was because we're fighting All Might, and that big guy was for fighting All Might, but he didn't realize that the big guy was kind of like meant for killing All Might until like when they got there, where he was like clearly informed of the plan. And I would say Deku, he goes up to the vents, and I would say that's what they call him, the King of Thieves. That's how they get him. They call him King for short. So yeah, he goes up from above because he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore, and he uses his broadhead arrow. And he's concentrating hard enough to like shoot it at the Nomu's brain. He's going to shoot this thing into the Nomu's brain, killing it. And here's the thing. When it's basically about to kill Aizawa with a punch, pretty much, like punch him and take him out pretty hard, I would say Deku shoots an arrow into the Nomu's arm, making it almost look like he missed. And I would say that stops the Nomu from actually even moving its arm, because it kind of just went right through it. And it stops like the entire muscles from contracting or anything like that. So yeah, I would say Aizawa kind of like kicks its ass a little bit and realizes it's not human, it's not anything. And I would say Deku realizes that as well, because this thing's like going off of commands like this. It's almost like a robot. So Deku uses his other broadhead arrow and shoots, I would say he pulls out two, and he shoots two of them into the Nomu's brain. Now, here's the thing. I'm also going to add this. Deku's also got like a few flashbangs that are military grade for like going against, for like escapes, really. He uses them for escaping heroes and stuff like that. So yeah, Deku, he shoots the two arrows into the Nomu's brain, killing it. And yeah, once the Nomu dies, he quickly puts the bow on his back, because this bow ain't like the collapsible one in like Thief. So yeah, Deku, he quickly just goes to the he kind of just goes, I would say, from up top, like above, and just shoots like oh yeah, I forgot to add this one arrow, I'm so sorry. He has these blunt arrows that are like has like a rubber blunt, and it's kind of got like this magnetic surface kind of thing that's like for like hitting touchpads and stuff. That's what he kind of like uses for like hitting a touchpad from long distances. So yeah, Deku, he has something like that, and I'm gonna say that Deku, he shoots arrows like these into the people's knees, their face, their eyes, just pretty much stuff that would like hurt them a lot and like cripple them. And he's using this while like helping out Aizawa. And I would say that Tomura and Kurogiri realize that their big gun's gone, so All Might's not coming. He is coming, but he's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to but they won't have a fair fight, really. So they get out of there, and, yeah, they leave. And that leaves with Aizawa and Deku taking out the rest of the villains. I'm going to say, though, that Aizawa, seeing how this whole place is sealed off, Deku, he has a choice to face off against all of the students and teachers, or turn himself in. And I'm going to say that Aizawa, he really does need this. He needed the assist badly. And he asked Deku if that was an intended shot for hitting the arm. And I would say Deku says, yeah, I wasn't told that we were going to kill anyone. I just knew that they were going to kill All Might. I didn't want any part of it. I just wanted to make sure that no one else were to die or pretty much anything like that. I didn't want to have my hands covered in blood. And I guess, I do kind of now, but that thing ain't even alive. It was built in a lab. So he drops the whole plan of what was going to happen. And I would say Aizawa is sitting there listening to this with Deku. And I would say, after talking to him, he's not really Aizawa thinks of him not as a bad guy. He can see why he's doing this, because I would say Deku reveals his past a little bit, because I feel like he would feel safe around Aizawa, because this guy, this pro hero, he's fought him before, but he's never hurt him. He's only ran from him. And I would say Aizawa's okay, yeah. I understand where you're coming from. In all honesty, though, it's you did this only to survive. You never did it for any wrong reasons. You did it for survival, and you just didn't live in those conditions. You didn't want to live in that orphanage for those conditions. And I would say Deku knows Bakugo, and Bakugo did bully him for being a late bloomer or having no quirk at all. And yeah, so Deku, he's still wearing this mask. He's still wearing this kind of mask, and it's all cloth and really messed up leather from his fights and thieving stuff. I would say he also has a grappling hook, because thieves need grappling hooks, I guess. But yeah, I would say that Aizawa, he's thinking of either letting Deku go, because Deku doesn't pose a threat. He doesn't bring any threat to anyone, really. The only thing he's done is save him, which is a great favor. And I would say that when the heroes get there, when All Might gets there, because he's the only one that gets there, and I would say he gets there breaking down the door and all that, and I would say when he gets there, not only is everybody just oh, thank God, All Might's here, but I think when All Might sees Deku, he wants to try and take him down, but he sees Aizawa there, so he realizes they're talking, or he's detained him, but he doesn't see Deku in cuffs or anything like that, or, the King of Thieves in cuffs. So, yeah. I would say, when Aizawa gets out there, he helps out Deku, and Deku kind of helps out Aizawa because he's a bit hurt. And I would say when they get to back to the UA, Deku, he is confronted by all the heroes and teachers and Nezu, and I would say Nezu has a private talk with him, trying to understand why he did it. And after realizing why he shot the arrow and why he's here and what he's done, and having a conversation as well with Aizawa, I would say that they kind of want to know if he would want to have a chance, because after revealing his quirk, they give him a chance here, because his quirk is very similar to All Might's, so they have a chance here, and this is a really interesting chance. So they have Aizawa leaves, and I'm going to say that Nezu and All Might have a talk about his quirk, about All Might's quirk, and if you would want to have it. Now, I'm doing this because they're two similar quirks, and if they merge the quirk, I'm going to say, just because I want to have this, it's going to make both quirks stronger for all generations to come. But right now, it's going to be the strongest it ever could be. One for all, that is. And I'm going to say that not only is All Might on board with this, but I think Deku would be as well, because it's either prison or one for all. And I would say he gets in, and he has a choice to reveal his identity or keep it a secret. Now, because we all love Deku, we're gonna have him keep it a secret, because I don't think anyone wants to have their secret identity blown, and that would be kind of a pain in the ass too. So yeah, Deku, he has his name kept a secret, and only Nezu and All Might know about it. And I would say that they have a special training before the sports festival, to hold it off just by a week. And what ends up happening is, in this week, there's going to be a special type of training with Deku, who's always going to have this mask on, but he's going to have a special mask on, because he's got this R&D team that helps him with gear and stuff. And his new gear is going to basically just be this. It's going to be much more sneakier clothing, and it's going to be much more like Kevlar and cloth, and it's going to be much more protection, really. And the bow he had, the compound bow, it's going to be much more refined. It's going to be much, much more nicer. It's going to be made of instead of scrap, but actual a better bow. Really, it's going to be a much better bow. So yeah, that's kind of what Deku's at. And they're going to have Deku steal from all the students, or at least sneak by them all. And he has to do it one way. He has to pretty much sneak by them. Well, not one way, but his way of sneaking by people and get past them all. And it's in this one building to get to a bomb. And it's the heroes versus villains, but it's only it's heroes versus villain. And Deku's trying to get to this well, I wouldn't say it's a bomb now. I would say it's a cache and stuff. So yeah, they kind of have him to go there and get the money and stuff like that, and at least some money that would be in a sense better. And I would say Deku, he gets past everybody, because he is so good at moving around and sneaking by people, that his quirk now is actually increased to where if he focuses on the floorboards, he can feel their footsteps and kind of exactly know who they are and how big they are and exactly who they are. And also, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna say that one student died in the USJ attack, and that's Sugar Rush. I just don't like that power. It's a walking diabetic. All right, I'm sorry. I feel bad for the kid. Look, a walking diabetic, I feel bad for. It doesn't seem like the best idea for doing that. I really don't like the whole idea. So yeah, he's Sugar Rush is dead, so Migneta's still there. I'm only doing that for Migneta, really, because I like Migneta. In some ways, Migneta's how do I put it? Migneta, he's better than Bakugo. It's just he's pervy, and I think a lot of guys are pervy. Not all guys are pervy, but a lot of them are. We all know that we have those friends, or at least one friend that's a perv, and we can all name that person. So yeah, Deku, he's kind of popular around with the ladies, because he's stolen from several of companies from Momo, and I would say Araka even knows of the King of Thieves, because I would say the King of Thieves has actually helped her family. There is no debt with her family. Her family doesn't struggle with money. She's only there because she wants to be a hero. She wants to do good, and she wants to bring more people that kind of joy. She wants to give money to the poor and stuff like that, and wants to do what Deku did, or well, what the King of Thieves did. And having him there is she's meeting her idol. And having to go against him was probably the most insane thing ever, because she gets to see how he works. And here's the thing, he gets done with it without being spotted once. He gets passed by all the students, and he is moving by going into their shadows or being behind them and kind of imitating them from being their shadow. and then does it to like every single one of them, and sometimes even just hangs along the walls and stays hidden by using his cloak. And that's pretty much what he's been doing. Now, you're probably thinking, like, how the hell is he this good? But it's because of his concentration. He's able to figure out where the person is by the vibrations and just by enhanced sight in the darkness. See, he has the ability where he can actually enhance where he can see in the dark, and he's like moving through vents, he's moving through all kinds of stuff, and he's like sneaky as all hell. And I'd say they let him have his gear before this because they want to see how good he is. And I'm going to say that Bakugo, he doesn't see him one bit. Like, he doesn't hear him, no one hears him. I would say even the guy that's got the bug friends, when he tries to communicate with the bugs don't even see him. He is like, Deku is moving at speed that's good, but at the same time it's terrifying because he's moving like a phantom almost, like a ghost. And I would say there's security cameras with night vision on, so they see Deku, the teachers, but they're amazed by how amazingly done he's doing all this. He's moving so quickly and so acrobatically. He's actually, some of the times, he's staying off the floor entirely. And how he's doing that is he's hanging on top of the ceiling or just, like, splinter celling this. I'm going to say, though, in Deku, like, when there's no walls to hide behind, though, he actually just hangs out on the ceiling. And he creeps along it. And yeah, he just hangs in, like, to people's shadows and stuff like that. And when he gets the money, I would say that a bunch of students, like Momo, has, like, lights everywhere to prevent him from getting anywhere, like, in the shadows, leaving no crevice, like, touch or anything at all. So when Deku arrives, he sees all the lights. And what he does is he sees all of them are plugged into one generator. That's a bad thing to do. So he takes out his bow, and he fires the arrow between her frickin' legs. And she doesn't feel this. Well, I think she would feel the wind a little bit. She'd just be like, that's cold. And then you just hear, psh, and all the lights just go off throughout the entire building. Because I would say there's, not the whole building, but, the lights would be pretty much all, actually, yeah, because I would say they would turn off all the lights and give every student flashlights. And Momo had all these, like, lights all over the place, and all they were hooked up to this one generator. And I would say it's like a crank generator as well, but, like, once it got wet, it just fused out, short-circuited. And I would say that when this happened, like, it would kind of, like, it was about to, like, almost explode or something. Like, it just went kong, 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 kong. And it just, I guess it started having some black smoke come out. And I would say Momo kind of, like, threw it to get, like, just have it not, explode or anything. But it exploded and hit the wall and kind of, like, gave that wall a little bit out. So I would say Deku, he sneaks by Momo and takes a bunch of money. He's taking so much money, and a lot of students are coming now. They've come to get Deku, and I would say Deku, I would say there's, like, a few gold bars he could take that are equal to some of the bags of money that are in the middle of caches. I would say Deku gets these gold bars quickly. And then when he gets out, he has, like, a bunch of gold bars with him. So how he gets out is actually interesting. The walls kind of gave out a little bit. So Deku, he just climbs up on one of those support beams. And he kind of creates a little wedge using I would say he uses a light to kind of, like, balance himself. And he fires an arrow. Now, this arrow is, I would say it's a regular arrow. It's like not regular, but like a blunt arrow. And it's like one that it's gonna be fired right near Bakugo. And Bakugo, once he hears this, he explodes saying, "Die, villain!" And it just gives out the entire wall and all of it, all that light is just peering in. And I would say this is the part where Deku, he kind of just jumps down from the light and then throws a flashbang, blinding all the students but him, and takes a rope arrow, shoots it on top of one of the parts on the building, and he then takes the rope and just starts going downwards the building. And yeah, Deku, he just swung out of the building with his bow and everything, and all that money. And I would say that's the part where they all witness his skills and how graceful he was at moving. Deku is the most best thief there ever could be in the whole world. He is so skillful that a lot of people even wanted him to do hitman jobs, but he never did hitman jobs. He was basically a mercenary. He never did a hit job. He always did a money job that was involving a robbery or burglary or something like that, but never a killing. So yeah, Deku, he's really good at this stuff. And I would say Nezu's impressed that Deku was able to figure this out. So yeah, Deku, after that, he gets into the class and he's going to be working in the hero courses because of his how good and skillful he is. And I would say that Aizawa never gives him his test or whatever, his little fitness exam, because I believe that Deku, that's all pure skill and all muscle, all his training through sneaking around and all that. And Deku, he's the main character in Thief, Garrett. Garrett. I don't know what's going on with me, but yeah, that's basically how you spell it. Oh, I'm just checking real quick. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Oh, thank God. Oh, man. Alright, so yeah. And next is going to be the, I'm going to say the next is going to be the sports festival. And I'm going to say that I would say a lot of the girls are really into Deku. Froppy, Momo, Araka, especially Araka. And I'm going to say I would say Ida is impressed by Deku and how he's able to move so gracefully and actually move great. So great. And I would say Todoroki's such an impressed because what Todoroki was doing whenever he found a hallway that was leading into just nothing but darkness, he kind of tried and sealed it off with ice, and Deku would still get past it somehow by going through a vent or just going on where he saw a weak point. And yeah, that's kind of what Todoroki's impressed by this too. So yeah, Deku used hot arrows to kind of fire arrows to kind of burn through the ice a little bit to create his own path. It was slow, but it worked. And I would say that the best part about this is the fact that Todoroki respects Deku. He respects him a lot because he was able to get past a lot of his traps and walls off that it's impressive. And I would say that Bakugo is just thinking Deku as a villain, but I would think everyone else is just thinking him as he's so cool and he's so amazing. And I would say Deku lives in the dorm system early because he is he has nowhere else to live but the sewers. And his money is going to be going to several bank accounts that are going to be transferred over to several organizations that give money to the poor that he has created. And I would say that yeah, a lot of quirkless people owe him. And I would say Araka's parents are in so much debt to him that they think that they need to pay him back, but they don't. So yeah, Deku, he is a legend among people. Among the people, he's a legend. Among the government, though, he's a criminal. But that's kind of how it is, and it's so beautiful how that works, because a lot of these heroes, they come from poor families and stuff like that, so they are all indebted to Deku. They all feel like they need to do something for Deku, because he's helped out the community so much. He's more of a hero than everyone else. And that is the most coolest thing ever, because he's more of a hero than everybody else. So thinking about that just makes you think, hey, he was starting his hero business before anything else happened. So yeah. I'm gonna say though that when Deku, he gets One for All, he kind of I would say he kind of figures how to use it a little bit. Like, he thinks he should probably spread it throughout his whole body or something, because that's kind of like how he uses his concentration. He kind of spreads it through his body. And he thought he's been using it the whole time because it increases a quirk. So when Deku uses full calling, there's not going to be any electricity or anything around him. I'm going to say that there's going to be more of a, kind of like, his eyes are going to glow. Kind of like in, what's going on here. That mist that comes out of Deku's eye, well, out of Garrett's eye. Oh god, that's my leg. But yeah, you saw my leg. Alright. You see that mist that's coming off of his eye? This is kind of like what Deku's going to have, but it's with both eyes. See that eye? Misty. That's kind of like what the power is that Garrett has, but the power is, hard to explain, because it basically is concentration. It basically is a concentration kind of ability. Now, yeah, that's basically what his power is, so I tried to, nail it down as much as I could. Sorry, I really couldn't, understand it that much, so, yeah. Plus, I haven't played the Thief games, and I think this is a better version of it, so, yeah, tell me what you guys think. Now, time for the whole fun part. So, Deku, he's going to have something interesting. And when I mean interesting, I mean he's going to have a, he's going to be able to wear whatever he makes for the sports festival. And what he makes is his bow, his arrows, all that stuff. And I'm going to say that Momo even, helps him with this, because she, yes, she's rich and all that, but she respects what Deku has done for the people that are poor and all that. She's, a really soft and kind-hearted person. And I would say that Momo's family, they don't really mind that they got robbed, because at least he's not using it for his own good. He's using it for everyone else's. And that kind of made him a hero among a few people among the rich. But the people that were really greedy and all that, they kind of, saw it as a, oh, he's gonna use it for himself. This is all, a stunt. And, they just want their money back, really. Pretty much just snobby dicks. But yeah, that's some really greedy people. But yeah, that's basically what how Momo's family at least reacts, because Momo's family is one of the good rich people family, because they honestly believe that Deku, he stole from them, but he didn't steal something that was that valuable. He didn't steal the most valuable things that they held to their hearts. And that would be family heirlooms and stuff like that. But what Deku stole, he stole money, gold, stuff like that. He didn't steal any rings, he didn't steal any jewelry, he didn't steal anything plates, stuff like that. He just stole some stuff that was minor, really. And when he sold it, he kind of got a lot of money, but still, he was able to get it cleaned out, or at least give it to other people. And yeah, he's really good at it. I would say though that Deku, he is not only the most Momo's family really does respect what Deku has done, and all the people that respect him. I would say Bakugo doesn't really know that his family was going through financial problems, and Deku helped out with his family. So yeah, he's helped everyone in pretty much almost in the whole city. Well, cities. So yeah, I'm gonna say that's kind of what happened. So yeah, I hope you guys like the whole thing that is going on so far. I'm gonna continue until like internships. So yeah, Deku for when he goes to the sports festival, Momo and Deku kind of team up. So they kind of create like a zip line to the end, and that's like on top of the mountain. They kind of like create their own like high up area with Todoroki, who kind of just wants to get there as well. So they create their own little zip line all the way to the finish, and Deku uses One for All and his quirk at the same time, using like a new kind of full cowling, like a I'm gonna call it full strength, or like, yeah, full strength actually. That sounds not half bad actually. Full strength, or at least like I don't really know what I would call it. Like I think it's become like a new quirk really, because yeah, it's pretty much become a new quirk. But yeah. So Deku, he shoots this arrow, and it's like a rope arrow, and he shoots it, and it's already attached to the zip line, and it goes all the way back to the sports festival. And they kind of just use it to get there. And what ends up happening is they're using this kind of like like zip thing or whatever you call those things, kind of like gliders almost. So that way when they break off, they can easily just go fly down into the sports festival. And that's what they do. And it's kind of like Deku's idea for like plans and stuff like that for like in case of what's going to happen. So yeah, that's kind of like what happens. And they skip over everything. I would say a few people like try to get on their zipline and take it, but a few like they get rope burn and they fall. So tough luck. But I would say the hardening quirk guys, they make it, and they kind of like make it with them, but they don't really fight them because they know what would happen if they start fighting. The whole cable would go. And I would say they're just pretty much taking it. I would say that I think Deku wasn't going to take a glider. He's just taking it by what he's got, and that's kind of like with his like own like Jimmy bar that he's kind of just holding on to, or well, leather gloves that he's holding on to. He's just using them, and they're much like sturdier gloves, I would say. He's got Kevlar. He's got all kinds of stuff, and he's kind of just like, I would say Deku. Yeah, he's using a special type of one that he just wants to hold on to. Because I would say Momo's not used to the same as Todoroki, and Deku's more used to it, so he's gonna get like his own regular version. I would say a lot of people already recognize Deku, because they would say like, oh, that's the King of Thieves. And by the way, Deku's request for a mask, it's gonna be changed from a black cloth to a type of black oxygen mask that's gonna be, it looks like an oxygen mask, but it's a gas mask. So yeah. Yeah, that's what Deku has. He always has this on. He has this cloak and mask on. I'm gonna say though that yeah, everybody's like impressed by what he's doing, and they've heard about that he was like a villain, went into the UA as a student because it was the King of Thieves, and he was like more of a hero than a villain really. And yeah, he was a really well-known person. I would say Deku even ratted out some drug dealers, cartels, and stuff like that, and Yakuza kind of stuff. And he was like really good at this. He was a real kind of hero kind of thing. He was more of a hero than a lot of people thought he was. Now I'm gonna say this: Deku, when he gets to the Calvary, I would say Momo, Araka, Froppy, because Froppy like owes him a lot because her family financially was messed up, so they kind of like got help from Deku, who's made them have a stable, comfortable life. And a lot of people have a comfortable life thanks to Deku. And it's almost like communistic almost. It's almost like communism, but it's not, because Deku's like, he's the only person there that's actually helped people out with a comfortable life. He's given a lot of people comfortable lives. So yeah, Raka's there helping them out. I would say the girl that makes the machinery and all that, I would say she takes we got Momo, we got Froppy. I would say yeah, there's like no one really to add. I would say Deku would be the one on top, and Momo would be feeding him arrows, and Froppy could be like, yeah, Froppy's gonna be like the front Actually, no, probably wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be good for Floppy. I'm gonna say the Shadow Kid actually has he does it, and I'm gonna say that yeah, he protects Deku pretty well, and Deku they just stay in the back, and they're just using like some of the stuff that the girl gave them, like rocket boots, to kind of like move around a bit faster in case they actually need to. But Deku, he's like shooting all these arrows thanks to Momo supplying him, and just they're all like blunt arrows that are hitting people in the face, the knees, and just really messing their day up. He's just hitting them really hard with it, and they're actually getting down on the ground. He's hitting them, and they're like some pressure points, stuff that would like dislocate a bone or two. And yeah, he's really good at doing this. He stops a lot of people from getting close. And I would say no one gets near him after that. Like a few teams went down, and I would say that Ida's team went down quick because he was running at them, and when Deku hit him in the leg, it kind of like nudged it a little, which was perfect because it just landed Ida into the ground, having his whole team hit the ground. And I would say Deku, he keeps the points that he has as first, because I would say like all the points goes to Deku because he got on the zipline first. And I would say that yeah, Momo and Todoroki came in second and third. So yeah, Bakugo came in fourth. Actually, no, wait, no. The Hardening guys came in like fourth and fifth, and then Bakugo came in sixth. So yeah, Bakugo came in like dead last, almost. So yeah, actually, now that I think of it, that's actually really good. Oh my god. But yeah, I would say the Hardening guys, they make it all right. Like, yeah, they team up, I would say. And I would say that when Deku's versing Shinso, I would say there's nothing to really say. So I would say Shinso, he steps up and he says, "Thank you for helping my family financially and helping all these people. I could not be happier," because everybody was struggling. There was a lot of people that struggled financially. And after getting some help with some money and stuff like that, to give him like gifts, presents, and Christmas and stuff like that, because Deku, he was basically Santa Claus on Christmas, because he gave people the money to get their kids gifts so they could have a good Christmas. And if you ask me, that's like the most nicest thing anyone could do. Even a villain or even just a thief, really. So yeah, he goes and gives a bunch of people the money. And yeah, I would say that Shinso, he says, so for a thank you, I'm going to surrender. And yeah, he surrenders. Deku does not need to fight Shinso or Todoroki, because they both surrender once they face him. Because what Todoroki had to deal with, he had to deal with a really bad, crummy, like, family. And I would say Deku, he gave him a gift one day when Todoroki was having a bad day, because I would say Deku was just like sneaking around in the shadows, and he saw Todoroki, a kid who was like having a really bad day. I would say Deku got him a cake, and it was a cake like he was in his street clothes and he had a bit of money on him, a lot of money, and got Todoroki a cake saying "feel better," and also let's see here, I would say just got him like a card with saying "feel better," lift your head up, and try and stay healthy. And in the card it would say like have a good time from the King of Thieves. And I would say Deku had like, he would have his head down when he gave this to him. He would even like, he gave him like, in the car there was a bunch of money, like a stack of $100 bills. And I would say Todoroki, like, that made his day, because not only did he meet like the King of Thieves, the rumored one that was like so like sneaky and almost villainous, but also like he met up the kind Santa Claus that would give people gifts to help people financially. And it was a big thing for Todoroki, because that helped his siblings. He gave it to his siblings, and they all felt better because that was the money that he got from the King of Thieves, and they had a much better childhood, really, because of that one moment. So yeah, I'm gonna say that
that brought them to be more, like, wanting to be more heroes and stuff like that. And that kind of, like, wanted to make Todoroki a hero. So a lot of people have become heroes because of Deku's giving and what he's done as a villain. And if you ask me, that's, like, it's the most nicest thing you could ever do. So, yeah. Now, I would say that when Bakugo comes around, though, but what happens with Todoroki is Deku just says this to Todoroki. He says, all I want is for you to use your fire side once. It's your quirk. Don't let anyone else tell you differently. And I would say that, like, kind of, like, gives him a tear to his eye, almost. Like, yes, Todoroki, like, I would say, no, wait, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a change with the timeline. I'm going to say that Todoroki, his mother never cracked. So, she's not in an asylum or anything, or a mental ward, and he doesn't have that scar on his eye. So, I'd say he's a little bit more joyous and joyful a little bit more, and not so, like, emo and, like, sad, because he's more, like, he tries to stay, like, closed off, but he does feel empathy and more emotions than he should than in the anime. And that's because of the cake he gave Todoroki. And I would say that makes, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna keep him have the scar, but I'm gonna say that was probably the only thing that ever happened to him that was so good. So I'm gonna say that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a timeline change. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, if you want me to retcon it and make it that he has if there's a timeline change and he's happier and that's why he kind of surrendered and used his fire quirk just a little bit, like kind of like show it off. But yeah, that's basically about it. So yeah, after that he pretty much surrendered. So yeah, if you want me to do that, I can make more of a joyful Todoroki. And I would say, like, a lot of people are friends with Deku, aka the King of Thieves. I'm gonna say, though, that, when it's Bakugo's turn, everybody's like, you know what, everybody's given up when they fought, the King of Thieves. No one really hates the King of Thieves, and they all see him as a really great guy. When he comes out, everyone's cheering him on. He's saying, go get him! You're gonna do great as a hero someday. And people are, like, arguing, like, oh, he's already a hero because he's done so much good stuff to the community and to the cities and all that, and he's been such a good person. And I would say that a lot of crime went down, too, because of what Deku did. Like, yes, he stole a lot from people, but he was, like, the only real bad-time criminal around, because he did give a lot of money to the poor, which, if you ask me, as long as, like, if someone's financially struggling, they're bound to do bad things. It's kind of like what we all do. We all don't want to be on the streets. We do something we will regret to get money, and that's kind of like how it works, and it's kind of a messed up system. And I want to say this, for anyone that's living right now, anyone that's living in those kind of conditions, I want you to know that there are good people out there. There are people that would help you. There are people that are willing to help you, and you just need to find the right person. I want all of you to know this too, because there are people that will help you out in hard times. There's people that will be there for you, be your friend, be anywhere there for you. For those that are living in those hard times, I want you to know this, because there's always someone there for you. There's always someone in the world for you, and you're bound to meet them, because this world, it's so well connected, you can meet anyone that would help you. There's so many good people in the world, there's so many. You just need to open up and find them. People out there will help you. You just need to explain your situation. Now that's my life lesson to all of you. And I hope you understand that. Now, time for the, to getting back to the, what if. So, Deku, yeah, he's being cheered on, and Bakugo doesn't really get that cheer on, but he's like, why are they all cheering for a villain? And what
happens is this. Deku, he takes out his bow, and everybody's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're all, like, happy. They're all, like, everybody's so, like, ready to see what Deku's gonna do. And then Deku, broad-headed arrow, shoots Bakugo in the head, killing him. I'm joking. No. No. What ends up happening is Deku, he shoots an arrow while Bakugo is distracted with all the people and all that, because he's not really paying attention to Deku. He's like, shut up, everyone! And I would say everybody shuts up, but then Bakugo turns and sees an arrow hit him in the face, knocking him out. Because the match already started. So, yeah. I would say that once Deku wins, though, I think a lot of villains, like a lot of people that were going to be villains, they're all like, thanks to him, I'm not going to be a villain. I wasn't going to do those bad things. I wasn't going to end this. I wasn't going to... A lot of people were hopeless because they didn't have Deku. And Deku, as the King of Thieves, he was more hero than more any hero could be. He did things that people looked up to. Everybody was amazed by it. No one could ever hate Deku for what he did. The fact that Deku did what he did, and only because he just wanted to give something to the people, is amazing. So next is the internships, and I'm just gonna say this: Deku, he got so many requests. He got first place, but so many people requested to see him because they feel like they're indebted to him. They feel like they have a debt to repay because Deku has helped everyone so much. And I would say Gran Torino even wants to help him out because with the training and all that. But even, like, I would say, like, people like Endeavor, they kind of want to have help because I would say Endeavor knows what Deku did for Todoroki. And it always, like, that thing always made him want to become more of a hero than anything. That was what drove him. So I think Endeavor even wants to thank him. I would say agencies like Gunhead, they want to thank him. So many agencies want to help and want to give Deku a good chance to be their sidekick or just anything, really. They just want him to experience something and just have something paid back to him. And I'd say so many people have, like, when they had the chance to become heroes and could join UA, they did, and they became heroes. And so many people throughout the whole school love him. So Deku is like a known hero throughout the entire middle class, poor, and heroes. Like, there's no way to hate him, really. Because, like, when you know what he's done, you know that he's a good person. And that's kind of how it is. So, yeah. Deku is a world-class hero. He's known throughout social media. He's known throughout everything. Everybody loves Deku. And I'm going to say that this is where we leave it off at. And, yeah. But I'm going to tell you this all. After the What If Deku is a Zombie, I'm going to be doing... I'm going to be doing the... I'm going to be starting up the hacker one again, and I'm going to be doing all that. So, yeah. I'm going to do the Batman one, I'm doing the Scarecrow one, I'm doing all that again. So, yeah. I just wanted to get these out of the way so that way everyone can have a chance to see them and enjoy them and just feel them, just love them, really. So, yeah. And, by the way, for those oldies out there, yes, King of Thieves sometimes references to Sly Cooper. I'm sorry that I didn't do that. But I'll probably do it in another What If. Who knows? If you guys want to see a Sly Cooper one, I could do that one. What if Deku was Sly Cooper? Or, like, part of the Sly Cooper lifeline. So, yeah. Yeah, that's all I can really think of right now. So, yeah, put in the comments Which one do you want me to do first? After the zombie Deku, and what you want to happen next, or etc., or whatever, really. But yeah, popping gum in my mouth. That's why my mouth is full. Anywho, yeah, tell me what you guys want, and like, subscribe, helps the channel keep going, and really does help with everything. So yeah, have a good day, a good night, and peace out, my lovely audience.